Let's start with my New York Knicks, who signed Jalen Brunson to a 4-year, $156 million extension last week. That's the good news. Here's the bad news in some people's eyes. That's $113 million less guaranteed than he could have signed for a year from now. Brunson's agent says the player could recoup the $113 million on a 4-year, $323 million max extension in 2028, or a new 5-year, $418 million deal in 2029. Listen, first of all, number one, tomorrow ain't guaranteed. Injuries could happen, anything could happen. You got an opportunity to pocket additional $156 million. That's one thing. I'm not going to throw any shade at Jalen Brunson with that. But I'm going to applaud him because obviously it gives the Knicks the flexibility it needs to go out there and get an additional piece, particularly with the loss of Hartenstein. You also got to remember that Leon Rose, Worldwide West, and the crew went out. Knicks brass I'm talking about. They went out and they got Mikal Bridges from the Brooklyn Nets. That's one of Jalen Brunson's boys from Villanova. They also kept OG Anunoby with a $212 million extension. Excuse me, that was very important. So you didn't want to lose Hartenstein, but guess what? You had to make sure you kept OG Anunoby and you acquired a big-time player like Bridges, because Bridges can ball. Bridges not only can ball, he's Mr. Reliable. He's going to give you 40 minutes a night. He's not going to miss games. He's played all 82 games in a season, 3 seasons in his career thus far. The brother doesn't miss a lot of games. So if the Knicks went out and they got pieces that you wanted them to get, and you know you're a piece or two away from legitimately competing with the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers for supremacy within the Eastern Conference, if not the entire NBA, for Brunson to do this right now, I ain't got a problem with it. And I'm going to say something else, too, that nobody's really thought about when it comes to Jalen Brunson. This is the good part about James Dolan being your owner, the owner for the New York Knicks I'm talking about. Let me explain what I mean by that. Now, I'm no fan of James Dolan. I think that he's been a nightmarish owner for the New York Knicks. There's a reason why they weren't relevant for decades once he took over from his daddy in 1999. Mr. Charles Dolan. I get that. But I can't knock what he's done with the New York Knicks in hiring Leon Rose having William Wesley, all right, there with him, and his willingness to stay out of the way, focusing on the Sphere in Las Vegas, which, by the way, I hear is off the chain. It looks great from the outside. I've never been inside, but I digress. My point is, James Dolan is a billionaire. Now, this is a guy that when Tyson Chandler was a member of the New York Knicks and his mother was battling an illness, this is an owner that had his private jet pick Tyson Chandler up at his mama's house on game days, bring him to the location for the game, let him play, and then fly him back to his mama. I believe she was in California at the time. God rest her soul. I believe that was the case. He's playing for the New York Knicks, and James Dolan did that for him. James Dolan takes care of players. And he's a billionaire and he knows how to make money. Remember when LeBron James wanted to go to when the Knicks wanted LeBron James in 2010 before he decided to take his talents to South Beach? James Dolan rolled up in there and the pitch was, I can help you become a billionaire. Now, LeBron didn't care about that because he felt he was going to be a billionaire anyway, and he damn right he was. He pulled it off. And he got not 1 but 2 chips playing for the Miami Heat. And then he ultimately won with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then finally won with the Los Angeles Lakers. If he had been with the Knicks, we don't know if he ever would have got it with James Dolan as his owner. But now he's got 4 rings, and he's a billionaire. So LeBron clearly made the right decision for himself. But let's understand something. You James Dolan, the one thing we know he knows how to do is make money. And so $113 million that Jalen Brunson passed up on, if anybody is in a position to give Jalen Brunson a wink and say, yo, you're going to get the $113 million back plus some. Trust me. It's James Dolan. It's the one thing he's good for. It's one thing he's good for. That owner sits up there and says to me, do this for us and I'll make sure you get your money. I'm going to believe James Dolan. I'm going to believe that. So I just wanted to throw that out there because it just shows what a leader and what a winner Jalen Brunson is. How committed he is to ultimately trying to capture a championship, helping the New York Knicks do what they need to do to position themselves to go after additional talent. I like that. That's what leaders do. That's what winners do. That's what Jalen Brunson did. That's why he's the face of the New York Knicks franchise now. It's just that simple.